I'm fascinated by human, psychology. I'm fascinated by people and what makes us tick. And I'm also fascinated by the patterns in life, the undetected patterns. I suppose almost the sort of like a scientist trying to work out what the ebb and flow and the underlying truth is, coupled with commercial practice. I mean, I really like business. So BrainJuicer is right in the center of that, where we're trying to reinvent market research, because market research is this dry, dusty subject that's practiced by very, often earnest, well-meaning, very skillful statisticians and the like. And I'm afraid it really hasn't done itself justice, because when it's done at its best, it is about a fundamental understanding of people, of what drives us, of what our quirky ways are, coupled, frankly, with commerce, but when done well, for the good of all. It is a combination of every ology, kind of known. And in that sense, it's, what was the Picasso thing? You just steal. Don't bother to hide. You just have to hide your sources. Because I think market research is currently psychology and statistics. And yet there are many, many other areas, sociology being one, which has hardly been touched. The biggest thing that market research is missing is that its fundamental purpose should be to inspire and lead to successful new things, rather than being a slightly illusory insurance policy. The majority of quantitative market research is bought and sold as an insurance policy. You better check that that's going to work in the market or be okay, or you might lose your job. And in fact, what it really is you'd better have been seen to check it, even if the data proves wrong. Even if you launch a product because the test said it would be okay and it fails, you're okay. It's like, well, I did the test and it said it was all right. So it's a removal of risk. It's a removal of personal risk or corporate risk in the main, and it's not accurate enough to do that job well. It does it reasonably well, but it's not accurate enough to just rest on its laurels and say, we can predict everything perfectly. Well, what is it? Something like 80% of new products fail? Well, I reckon 80% of those have been tested. So there must be something going wrong somewhere. And I think what's missing, and that's why it's not inspiring in itself, a lot of research can be dead on arrival, and senior managers just think, wow, market research, I know it's valid and it's great, but if you talk to any senior chief marketing officer, they just go, they kind of they roll their eyes and they go, my God, yes, it's not moving anyone, it's not emotional, it doesn't get the organization to do anything really differently. And I suppose that's what I see, that when it's done well, it can literally open the eyes of an organization in the way that a great teacher can do that with a student. They suddenly get it, and it's like a whole new world is opened up to them. And I think research should be mind expanding, not risk reducing.